How can you use the annual seasonal change of kids going back to school to help you grow your real estate business? What's happening? I'm J.C Agajanian, broker associate with the Whissel Realty Group at eXp, bringing you the breakdown of the Monday morning mastermind that takes place every week as part of the Fast Forward Network's initiative to grow and develop agents. It's free information put out there every week, and it is powerful and packed full of goodness, with tons of contributors, with top producers, with team leads, and with young agents with virtually no experience at all as well. Everybody comes together and shares their experience. And today we are tackling 3 great topics. The first one, how to take advantage of back to school time. The next one, talking a little bit about a pre-listing package. And finally, we're gonna get into staging and chat a bit about that as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, talking about helping out at the school, and how are you going to reach out and grow your sphere and take advantage of this time of year when everyone gets back into the regular flow, the schedules resume, and kids are back in school again. Well, the first thing we automatically think of are sponsorships. Schools are always in need of money and supplies and various things. So there's lots of different ways that we can go about sponsoring things at the school to help get our name recognition up. And this is a great strategy, this whole school, back to school thing in general, because it's hyper local. Ideally, you are involved in the school somehow on your own. Maybe you have kids there, maybe you have had kids there in the past, but it's one of your local spots, and it's in your geo farm where you want to be marketing, right? This is all kind of going without saying, but I figured I might as well mention it anyways. But the first recommendation we had today was the concept of sponsoring a car line. So this was a new one for me. I hadn't heard about this before, but it seems pretty interesting. Whether it's a program that's already up and running at your school, or you need to recommend it and promote it, it's there for the taking. And the whole idea is just creating customized signs at the beginning and end of car lines, kind of showing directional things just like they would do on their own to try and keep order with these lengthy lines that get growing in these rush hours of drop off and pickup. Often they just want to keep traffic flowing, telling you to move over here or to go double lines here, whatever it is that's specific to that school. Sometimes signage is necessary and helpful. So one thing you can do is volunteer to pay for these signs, and oh, by the way, have some open house looking stuff on there as well, with maybe a low-key photo and contact information kind of out of the way below the point of the sign, which is giving information to the drop-off and pick-up moms and dads at the school. Pretty cool idea, and a good way to have people stare at your face and your contact information for 15, 20 minutes, half hour, sometimes longer at a time while they're waiting for the kid to finally come out of school or simply get through the traffic to get to the pickup line. Another way to take advantage of the same exact concept is if your school has the name tag, so that you kind of show the person who's running the line which kid is yours when you get to the front of it. Volunteering to sponsor the printing and production of all these tags with maybe some branding or logo on the back would be another great way to have regular reminders that you are the local realtor involved in this school without being too flashy or obnoxious about it. On the topic of sponsorships, the PTA is always looking for money and coming up with their own fundraisers, but what we can do is come alongside them with a donation. But instead of just making a simple donation in your own name or even from your company, what if you were to donate a commission from anyone at that school who works with you? You then, instead of running an ad, make a notification or some sort of publication making this known so that people who work with you realize when they do, they're actually going back and they're helping their own parent-teacher association. Another big fundraiser is the annual galas, dances, balls, whatever it is that your school is doing. There's usually a big event where all the moms and dads get together and cut loose and spend some money, often having some sort of silent auction or live auction and more at these events. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. One way to participate in this, instead of going out and buying some random things and putting it together to look like a cohesive package, would be to offer a free listing to the winner of the auction for your item. This sounds crazy, but boy, crazy typically catches eyeballs. And one thing you can do is say, listen, the person that wins this auction is going to get to sell this house for free. Now, there's going to be, fine print, probably something to the effect of, I'm not paying the buyer's agent for you, you got to do that, but I'm willing to waive my fee, and whatever the case may be. But the point of all this is that in offering to do this and having it be a little bit outside the box, it presents an opportunity to have a little conversation with the people running this auction or event. And while you're making this offer, you can also say, what I would love to do as well is to get a list of everyone that's signed up, because if you give away one listing, there's a good chance if you get your hands on that list, you're going to be able to pick up 1, 2, or 3 others, because those are people that have raised their hand and said, actually, I might be selling my house in the next year or so. So now you've got hot leads in your area that go to your school, and you're doing something good for the school by giving away one of your commissions as well. It's a pretty good idea, and the agent that brought this to the mastermind this morning had a little bit of context. She said, the first year, it was kind of a dud. Seemed too good to be true, nobody really bought into it, and it kind of just fell flat. The second year, not only did it get good numbers in the bidding and raising money for the PTA, but she ended up with 11 listings out of this program. If that doesn't catch your attention, I don't know what will. Another way to sponsor your local school, whether it's the PTA or another organization at the school, is to do something similar to what we were just talking about. You're giving away something as maybe part of an auction or an event, or you could just advertise in the publication, or these days a lot of times it's just an e-newsletter that goes out to the parents. And this one involves partnering with a vendor, right? So maybe you get your preferred staging company, for example. You get them to offer a free staging giveaway if someone uses you as their agent. Now, if you decide behind the scenes that you're going to compensate that staging company when that time actually comes, nobody needs to be any wiser. But it's a great way to say, here's something that you can get that represents substantial value, that's going to significantly impact the overall sale price of your home, and you can have it for free. By the way, you're donating to the school while you're at it. It's a great idea. Another great way to kind of sponsor the school and have some recognition for yourself and your company is to bring a photo booth to school events. You can give these away for free. The thing is, as you probably well know, when you go to these photo booths, you typically need to put in either your phone number to get a text or your email to receive an email of these digital prints. Now, it's not mandatory. A lot of times you can just take the little printout and go on your way, but most people will ask for these, and this is a great way to have a little bit of data collection going on in the background. And of course, you have to be careful with how you use that data going forward, but reaching out with something related to the event, making people aware of who you are, might be a good first step going forward from there. Another way to get creative with school sponsorship is to get together with the people running the fundraising events and say, listen, I want to take care of you guys, but instead of just cutting a check, I've got something different in mind. And it's called a $1 per follower program. And you have to explain it, but basically the idea is that you will donate $1 to the school per follower you get in a given week. Now you publicize it, right? You have them send home a letter to all the parents, and then you get them to go follow you. Now, the follow doesn't cost the parents anything, but they know they are donating $1 to their school by doing this. And one agent who brought this to our attention this morning said that she actually ended up with 3,000 followers inside 1 week and was happy to pony up and pay that check to the school for all that new attention she's got on her business's social media feed. There's some other things that you can do that are not necessarily sponsorships or overt ways to put your branding in front of the student body and their parents. One of them is called Donut Know What We Would Do Without You. Basically, it's an appreciation thing for the teachers, and you're bringing a couple dozen boxes of donuts in to the school, and it's a little low-key. You're doing like a smaller sticker of branding or something like that. This is not a sponsorship, so you can't plaster yourself all over the place. But you're doing something nice, and you might as well let them know it's not just you, it's you and your company bringing this to them. So that's a great way of connecting with the teachers. Another way to connect with them in a less overt sponsorship way and more of just helping out is to reach out to the schools near you and get a needs list. There are surely students that may not be able to get all the things they need when school starts. And so buying a bunch of packages and hand delivering those supplies is a great way to help give back. And again, if you want maybe a small card or something discreet, letting them know who provided this, but not banging people over the head with branding would be a good way to go forward on this one. Along the same lines as the school supplies, you can also donate food. There are plenty of parents that are literally trying to decide whether or not to pay for new school supplies or food. So let's consider donating both. You can put together food packages or credits to the cafeteria and help people get by that are truly struggling in the beginning of the school year here. Cater lunch for the teachers on a Teacher Appreciation Day. Super straightforward, basic, helpful, make it good, tasty, make them remember you. And again, maybe something small, discreet, a little thank you, or something letting them know who brought it in for them. Finally, another thing that you can do is a monthly gift to the teachers. So instead of just a one-time thing, you can get stickier by doing it regularly. And, maybe the first day of school, you do like a teacher's relief kit, which is kind of funny because you're giving them some gum and some Advil, maybe a Starbucks gift card or something like that. But if you carry it forward to a monthly event and you're actually doing something nice each month, you can add in a raffle to this. And so now they can earn extra points for this raffle by giving you referrals for your business. In the end, you give off something really cool that they would actually want to give referrals to or do other things to earn these raffle tickets, and you pick a big winner and make a big celebration event out of it. So all of these are really cool ideas, ways that you can both benefit your business, but more importantly, help the schools that your kids have been or are going to be involved in, and actually give back while you're promoting your business. Moving on from back to school, let's talk about your pre-listing package, right? So the goal of any pre-listing package is to show that you're different than every other agent they've already met with or might consider meeting with. Because let's be honest, it's easy for any knucklehead to get a license and start selling multi-million-dollar homes. But just the fact that you're sending out a really professional looking package, it will separate you out. And what the content of that package contain will separate you out even further. You need to make it clear that you are not the average, that you are not most, you are different and you are superior. And these are the reasons why they should consider working with you. How are we going to deliver this bit of information? What does the package look like? Well, there's lots of ways to do it, but I'll tell you one thing that I've been doing. It shouldn't be any surprise because we've mentioned High Note a million times before. It's a super powerful tool. I use it for my pre-listing packages. I use it when I'm submitting offers. I use it when I'm talking to other agents. I use it in multiple cases, but it's super powerful and it's fully digital, so it takes a lot of the pain and friction out of the process. If you're going to take all this time building a pre-listing package, you want to know exactly what this person is looking at. Which parts of this package are they interested in? And High Note will actually alert you to all that information. If they are doing nothing but looking at the statistical and numerical focused items in your package, you're going to know, hey, maybe this person is pretty numbers focused and less emotional about this whole thing. But if the person is doing nothing but looking at the video about yourself and the photos of the listings that you've used for comps and things like that, then they're going to be on the other side of the spectrum. So it will help, just knowing what they're looking at and for how long they're looking at it will help you understand who it is you're going to meet when you haven't even gotten any information about them at all yet, as far as a personal level. If you like something that's more textural, more physical, not digital, then send them a really neat branded package with all the same information printed out and presented professionally. If you want to really take it to the next level, you can have that package put together and couriered over same day. If you find out where these people work, you got someone showing up in a branded polo with a branded package, maybe some balloons, and you deliver that thing right away, it's gonna make a lasting impression. They're gonna be impressed with the speed at which you move and how professional you are with the information you're sending forward. So consider that method as well. So focusing on the actual content, what are you putting in this package that you're sending before your listing appointment? Well, one thing you can do, and which you should do, frankly, is get a little bit of information when you're setting that appointment on the phone. Most importantly, what's important to you and how are you going to choose the agent that you end up working with? Pull that information as best as you can out of them so that you can focus in on the various pieces of the pre-listing package that you've got and make sure you hit the one that addresses their primary concern. Then when you actually meet them in person, you're going to come back and do the same thing again. You're going to put most of your time and attention expressing why that thing that they mentioned as the most important item for helping dictate who they might work with as they go forward is going to be the bulk of your listing presentation as you move through this package. One thing that I really am hesitant to include in my pre-listing package is a complete CMA. Now, I've done it in the past, but it's something that you have to be careful with because you don't know what that person has in mind as far as value goes. And if you come in wrong, it could be enough for them to cancel this meeting entirely and you might blow your opportunities. So if you've got a pretty good handle on where your clients' heads are at regarding value, or if it is locked tight, it's a townhome or a condo or a planned community, and the values for this model are hardly varying at all and it's super safe, then include it. But otherwise, hold it back, bring it with you in person when you go for that appointment so that you can get a little bit of a better gauge on where their minds are at regarding the value of their home and how best to present the data, the research that you've come up with for that CMA. So I haven't really answered the question yet about what goes in there, but clearly something addressing past sales and experience, something related to client reviews and social proof is going to be important. Of course, you're going to want to have information about their home, about your marketing plan. All of this stuff is going to go into your pre-listing package, but you don't want to give it all away. You want to have little hints of each thing, but save some for the actual presentation itself. Now, when you're doing this, another tip we got from one of the contributors to the mastermind this morning was to add a seasonality to the content you're providing. So if you're addressing the client's need to sell in the near future, you want to step back and think about what season are we in and what obstacles may we face in the near future. For example, if we're in the third quarter and you know that they are not doing anything now, but it may be soon, you want to bring up the fact that we've got the holidays ahead of us. You've got people that are going to be getting out for winter break. You're going to have people going away for vacation. You're going to have people going away celebrating the holidays. These are very important things that reduce the amount of buyers in the market. We may want to affect that. Therefore, our timeline of 3 to 4 months out may be actually shorter because we want to get it done before a certain date. Now, this can be universal language to all of your listing appointments, but considering changing the verbiage and what's on the horizon with each season as it comes was a great tip to help add a little bit more incentive. And it's actually helpful to the client because it brings to light things they are likely not thinking of when it comes to the calendar in real estate terms, as opposed to all the busyness that they have going on in their life as it is. That's it for our pre-listing package, but we're going to move on to staging 101. This is going to be a short one, but there's some important tips that we wanted to raise and talk about a little bit before we moved on from the mastermind this morning. So first of all, I hope that you are aware that there was an old MIT study that was done a long time ago, and thankfully for us, a more recent one done by Redfin that actually proves that vacant and staged homes on average sell for 4% more than owner-occupied homes. This is a huge statistic that you can use at every single listing appointment because unless you absolutely know that the clients are not going anywhere, they're going to have to stay in the property for the duration of the listing period, explaining to them how the process works, how much easier it is for agents to bring their clients into the home, regardless of whether they get hung up in traffic or another showing bumped them back a half hour. If you've got a vacant home, none of that is a concern. We don't need to worry about taking the dogs out or the baby's nap time or the work from home schedule when you need silence. None of that is a concern when you've got a vacant and staged home. More importantly, a vacant and staged home is going to present significantly better. And I always explain to my sellers the concept of walking into a model showroom at a new development as opposed to walking into their friend's home down the street. It's significantly different. The point is that model is staged for photography and for presentation, and somebody's home down the street is decorated for living. They are not the same. And this study proves all of this to be true. So you can start with the very basics. You're gonna make more money by selling it this way. Now, where do we go from here? Firstly, let's not be too heavy-handed with this staging concept. I mean, you can't go in clearly and tell people their 80s oak wood furniture is ugly and it's not gonna help the sale of their home, right? But we can help them understand the benefits of staging. The thing is, we don't want to be too heavy-handed about it. We don't want to be too pushy in anything that we talk about, specifically staging, because we could clearly turn people off and maybe lose the opportunity entirely. So we found the best thing to do is to start with a design consult. You know, having a professional weigh in with their opinion is going to be a lot easier than you stepping in and talking badly about all the things you need them to remove off the walls and get out of the room and pack away in a box and never see it again. Like, that's what you want to say. It's a lot easier to have somebody else say it for you. And we've got a design consultant that we work with when people are working with their own furniture, and we have a stager come in as a design consultant when we're going to have the home staged. So in either case, for 50 to 100 bucks, we can have someone walk through and be the bad guy, or the staging fee that the seller is going to pay anyways, we can have them walk through and be the bad guy. Either way, I'm not the bad guy. I'm here to tell you how great your home is and what we're going to do to get sold. These two people are going to tell you what to get rid of and how to actually prepare it for sale. So I kind of commented on it just now, but who's paying for the staging? So I just let the cat out of the bag about how I go about covering the cost for staging in my listings. But there's multiple ways to go about it. First of all, if you're offering any sort of reduction in commission fee or discount at all, please don't also pay for the client's staging, right? That's definitely something that is just gonna be too much. There's another way to go about it, which is basically offering various packages. And we've got some agents that spoke up and said that they are able to get 6, 7, and even in some cases 8% for their listing fee by including paid for staging in that package. The mentality behind this is kind of like the Starbucks or the fast food chain, right? You want small, medium, or large, or extra large, and the fees vary along with the different types of services that come with these listing commission structures. So if you haven't ever heard of the concept, look into it, ask around, see if you know anybody that is doing various packages for their listing fees. But it's something that I haven't done personally in the past, but it's intriguing. And if you can get an extra half a point, let alone 1 or 2 on top of your listing fee in exchange for paying $1,500, $2,000, even for an expensive one, like a real high-end home, maybe $5,000. I mean, sure, some stagers are charging $10,000 and $20,000 for the 10,000 square foot mansions, but you don't have to pay that much money for staging. You can get a lot of impact for significantly less cost and really add to the bottom line by going about it this way. So that's it for today's Monday morning mastermind breakdown, the recap of the mastermind put on by the Fast Forward movement. I hope you have enjoyed it. More importantly, I hope you have learned something that will not just stay between your ears, but will come out and actually be put into practice in your business to help you make more money. As always, feel free to send me a message right here. I am happy to chat and answer any questions or comments you may have. Talk to you soon.